Tonight, on this edition of Newswatch 18, one presidential hopeful dropped out of the race for the Republican ticket. We have the latest.
There's snow in the forecast in Ames. Find out how much we expect to get with the latest forecast.
The men's basketball game last night came down to the wire. We have the highlights, stats, and more on this edition of Newswatch 18. And welcome to the January 19th edition of Newswatch 18. I'm Natalie Freisted.
And I'm Alyssa Weiss.
Just 2 days before the South Carolina primaries, Texas Governor Rick Perry dropped out of the Republican presidential nomination race. Instead of running, he has chosen to endorse candidate Newt Gingrich. Perry states that although Gingrich is not the perfect candidate, he is a conservative visionary and is best suited to replace President Obama in the White House. Perry dropped out before Saturday's primary because he wanted to respect the voters by giving them a choice among other candidates, including Ron Paul, Rick Santorum, Mitt Romney, and Newt Gingrich.
One of the world's largest file-sharing websites was shut down today. The founder, as well as some company executives of Megaupload.com, were charged with violating privacy laws. An indictment accuses them of costing copyright holders more than $500 million in lost revenue. Megaupload is considered a cyber locker in which users can upload transfer files that are too large to send by email. Users were able to download films, games, music, and other content for free. The case was exposed just 1 day after the website protests of SOPA and PIPA acts.
The students with cars parked on designated snow routes need to move their vehicles in anticipation of a round of snow showers expected tomorrow. A snow ordinance is in effect for the city of Ames at 1 p.m. Friday. Snow routes are marked by red and white signs. Vehicles left on said routes will be ticketed and towed at the expense of the owner. The ordinance will remain in effect until all streets are clear and if snow has stopped falling.
A new proposal by Governor Branstad could give $20 million to the Iowa Board of Regents next year. The request could keep tuition increases at Iowa's 3 public universities at 3.75% for the 2012-2013 school year. Regent President Craig Lang says that although they are pleased with the proposal, they are working to ask for a higher number. The Education Subcommittee will discuss the proposal within the next few weeks.
The Iowa State Dance Marathon is taking place this Saturday, January 21st at the Great Hall in the Memorial Union. Dance Marathon is a charity event that benefits the University of Iowa's Children's Hospital and the Miracle Children's Center. All students are invited to raise money and then dance for 15 hours straight. In reality, the students just need to stay standing, and they are given many activities to do during this time. They can play games, listen to music, spend time with the children and their families, and they also have a morale dance that they perform every hour. 100% of the money that is raised is given to the University of Iowa Children's Hospital through the Children's Miracle Network.
The City of Ames is looking for volunteers to fill vacancies on several city boards and commissions. The city has 18 current openings, all of which focus on distinct issues, programs, or services. Applicants will be considered until 5 p.m. February 3rd. You can read more about volunteering on the City of Ames website.
An Iowa State finance course meant for this spring semester has been canceled due to claims that it violates the Constitution. The finance course proposed by Professor Roger Stover was titled Application of Biblical Insight to the Management of Business Organization. The course would teach students how they can use biblical principles while managing a business. Professors Warren Blumenfeld and Hector Avalos learned about the course and sent a letter to the dean of the College of the Business voicing their concern. The American Civil Liberties Union of Iowa claimed that this course violated the separation of church and state.
And now Matt joins us at the desk for a sports update. What are we looking forward to this week, Matt?
Big weekend for Cyclone sports and an even bigger night for the Iowa State men's basketball team last night. We'll have all the highlights and more coming up on Newswatch 18. Welcome back to Newswatch 18. I'm Matt Van Winkle with your sports. Oklahoma State athletics teams may want to stay as far away from Ames as possible in the future. Scott Christopherson's three-point buzzer beater gave the Cyclones the 71-68 win last night and sent the Cowboys back to Stillwater disappointed once again. It was about 2 months ago that Paul Rhodes and the Cyclone football team upset the Cowboys in Ames in double overtime. This time it was the Mayor's team. The two teams kept the scores close throughout the game, and with the Cyclones up by only 2 at halftime, both teams came out shooting in the second half, and Iowa State found themselves down 66-60 late in the game. Scott Christopherson made a layup and a huge three-pointer to make it 66-65. Oklahoma State hit a pair of free throws to make the score 68-65 with under 2 minutes to play. Freshman Tyrus McGee tied the game on a three with only 16 seconds left. McGee then stripped the ball on defense, giving the Cyclones the last possession of the game with 4 seconds left. But 4 seconds was plenty of time for Scott Christopherson to dribble up the court and hit the game winner. He banked it in. Christopherson, McGee, Royce, White all finished with 17 points. McGee also grabbed a career-high 9 rebounds in the game. Iowa State improved to 13-5 overall and 3-2 in the Big 12. The Cyclones are on the road on Saturday to face Texas Tech. Tip-off is at 4 p.m. and the game will also be televised on ESPN2. And the Twister sisters probably wish they could have had a little bit of the luck that the Cyclone men's basketball team had last night. So the Lady Cyclones just can't seem to be able to buy a win lately. The Cyclones went on the road last night and took the Texas Longhorns down to the wire, but an Yvonne Anderson layup with 0.7 seconds left gave Texas a 62-60 lead and eventually the win. The loss makes the Cyclones 0-5 in the Big 12 and 9-7 overall. Freshman Nikki Moody led the Cyclones with 14 points. Hallie Christopherson and Bryn Williamson both scored double-digit points with 13 and 10 respectively. The Cyclones are currently last in the Big 12 standings and will be back at home on Sunday, searching for their first conference win in a whiteout game against Texas Tech. Tip-off is at 1:30 for that game as well. And despite having a 2-9 overall record, the Iowa State wrestling team has managed to stay ranked 16th nationally. The Cyclones' schedule does not get much easier for head coach Kevin Jackson and his team as the Cyclones head down to Norman, Oklahoma for a conference match against the number 7 Oklahoma Sooners. The Cyclones and the Sooners have already met earlier this year in Ames as Oklahoma defeated Iowa State 22-13. The Cyclones have won 2 out of their last 3 dual meets after dropping their first 8 matches of the season. Tomorrow night's match against Oklahoma starts at 7 p.m. in Norman, Oklahoma. Come Sunday night, we will know who will be playing in Super Bowl 46. Sunday's playoff matchups feature the New England Patriots and the Baltimore Ravens in the AFC Championship, and the San Francisco 49ers and the New York Giants in the NFC Championship. Patriots quarterback Tom Brady sat out practice yesterday but says he'll be ready to go on Sunday against the Ravens. And Giants QB Eli Manning has been battling a flu virus this week but practiced for the first time today. Manning led the Giants to a 37-20 win over the Green Bay Packers last week. The Patriots and the Ravens kick off at 2 p.m. on Sunday, and the Niners and Giants kick off at 5:30. And that's all I've got for sports, but I'll see you right after the break for some weather. You're watching Newswatch 18. Welcome back to Newswatch 18. I'm Matt Van Winkle with your Ames weather. Currently in Ames right now, it is cold, 5 degrees, dew point around 6. Your humidity is at 52%. Winds coming out of the north at 3%, so making that 5 degrees feel a little bit chillier. Probably seeing temperatures feel more like 0 degrees currently right now. We're going to see a little bit of colder weather ahead in Ames. Tomorrow you're going to see the only snow you're going to see the rest of the week, probably about 2 to 4 inches though, so you're going to see a pretty good majority of snow coming up in your forecast. Should see a little bit warmer temperatures later in the week. We'll see that coming up. Tomorrow is going to be chilly. Like I said, 10 degrees is your high, 0 is going to be your low. If you're heading to class in the morning, you're going to want to bundle up. Probably going to want to take the CyRide as well, as the ladies mentioned at the weather or the news desk earlier today. There's going to be a weather advisory, so get those cars if you're parked on the sidewalks. Want to get those off the roads. Saturday, you're going to see a high of 14 degrees with the low at minus 12. Probably going to feel more like minus 20 with those wind chills, like I said earlier. Pretty windy out there right now as well in Ames. Sunday, you're going to see that snow start to creep in. 13 degrees is your high. Still pretty low temperatures though, so you're not going to see a lot of variety in your Sunday. It's going to your high is going to be about 13 degrees. 12 will be your low on Monday. 32 degrees for your high. You're going to see totally sunny skies out there. It's going to be probably the nicest day you're going to see in the week. 19 for your low there on Monday as well. So that's probably going to be the nicest day we're going to see here in your 5-day forecast. Tuesday, we're going to see cloudy skies. Pretty nice day as well. Compared to what it's going to be like on Friday. 11 degrees is going to be your temperature, your low temperature on Tuesday, and that's it. And we're going to head back to the weather or the news desk with the ladies.
Club Fest was held last night at the Memorial Union. This biannual event features wide selections of clubs that are available for ISU students to join. Club Fest offered over 250 clubs for students to join, just a small portion of the over 800 clubs that Iowa State has. These clubs offered handouts with information and sign-ups at their booths. Other clubs held demonstrations and showed some unique features of what they had to offer. A full list of clubs can be found at the Student Activity Center's website.
People in Ames ride the bus just as much as in our nation's capital. The difference, about 540,000 people. Last year, the average Ames residents took 106 rides on CyRide, the same as an average resident of Washington, D.C. The national average for a city the size of Ames is 16 rides per person annually. This news is part of a recent report by the Federal Transit Administration. CyRide expects about 6 million rides in 2012.
And that's all we have for tonight's edition of Newswatch 18. Thanks for joining us.
Tune in Monday night for more news, weather, and sports, and be sure to stay warm this weekend.